Alright guys, this is BTC first of all. So before we go to any other place, I've recently added two instruments to my watch list, which is the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Yes, S&P 500 I just added it recently, but the Nikkei Japan, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, the BTC and GBUSD and US card has been there for a very long time. So I was actually looking at reducing my pairs or my instrument from my watch list because if you look at Nikkei Japan, Nasdaq, and S&P 500, they are kind of moving in 86 or 85 to 87% correlation. That means they are very close, like they move very very close. Now that's by the way. Looking at BTC, BTC have been really really I've been eating like a lot of I've been in a very strong drawdown especially on BTC. A lot of trades that could have gone to my profit, but because of market condition and the broker I use, there's always this slippage that take me out. But that's not the case. I'm actually looking at this on BTC. I need price to um break below this support and retest on it. So we're gonna be targeting this level now. This will be our target. So I just need a break and retest. Then we push down. This is what I'm looking at on BTC. If you look at the 4 hour time frame on BTC, you will see that BTC has been really really you know a price just break out from this bearish trend, and price just broke out from this bearish trend. This point here, market broke out, and based on my strategy, whenever we have a breakout, the first structure the first structure price great before the breakout, price now always want to come back to that structure to retest on it before the continuation, which is what I'm actually looking at for. I'm looking out for a very big buy to this point. It is almost a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 30, 1 to 30. But it's just the trade that if I go in on this kind of a trade now, what I will do is that I'll just be adjusting my SL, just be adjusting my SL till TP it, or whenever market wants to take me out. But I'll just be adjusting my SL. I can not just go in on this kind of trade and just not managing my risk. So what happened after price breakout from here? I'm expecting price to come back here, but because this trend, this structure is all from the weekly, monthly time frame, so it's going to take a lot of time for market to get there, to get to this point. So till then, I'm just going to take advantage of the little move that is going to be happening when market is coming down here. So we have a structure here which serve as a resistance. When price gets to this structure, what happened? Price gave us our powerful setup, which is a third touch of the trend line and a break and retest. So this is a 4 hour time frame. If you go to the 1 hour time frame, you're going to see how my setup and my strategy work. My strategy is very simple. Very simple. The only way you can make money from the forex market is to keep your strategy and your analysis simple. Now, when price gave us this finally, we had this was the first entry here. This for advanced entry, but this is the main entry. When price broke out from this structure, this channel line, market came back to retest on the previous structure. And what's the previous structure? I'm going to change the line chart so I can see the previous structure before the breakout. So before this breakout, we had a structure here, which is this point here. This was the first. This was the structure here. So when market breaks out from this, market came back to retest that structure, that first structure before the breakout, and boom, market pushed to the downside. And this is what has been happening for a very long time. So let me just let go of this again. Let me just delete it. I don't like my chart to be sharpy. So the same thing has been happening for a very long time. Same thing has been happening when market formed this trend and market breaks out, came back to retest on the first structure. Let me zoom in a little bit so that you can see clearly. Market created this channel line, market breaks out, market came back to retest at the first structure. The same thing happened there. Market breaks out from this channel line. This is how I take advantage of what market does. This is how I make, this is just my strategy, guys. So market breaks out from this channel line. Where is the first structure, guys? When market breaks out from this channel line, what happened? Market came back to retest at this first structure. Let me bring out my tools. This is the first structure here. And sometimes you need confluence too. You need to look at the left. If there's a place where market reacted to, it's going to serve as more confirmation for you. So this is where I'll just put up my sell limit at this point, and I'll wait for market to come back to it. If you switch to a candlestick pattern, okay, market didn't get to this point, but at the end of the day, market still went to our direction. So the same thing we are also looking out for. Let me just delete this. The same thing we are looking out for on. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna delete this, and delete this. Let me just delete this and also delete this. So we are looking at price retesting on this level. You can see if market breaks out, this is going to be the first structure. Then we have a retest, then we sell down. This is like a 1 to 6. So that's why this is the reason why patient this is where patient comes in play. You have to wait for market to break out and give us a retest. So that's that on BTC. So let's take a look at okay, SMB 500 now. S&P 500, guys, we are expecting market to retrace back to this level here. You can see market to retrace back to this level, then we buy. This is going to be a 1 to 4. Although S&P 500 can even give us more than that, it can give us up to 1 to 10, as the case might be. But we just, since we don't have any structure to back our buys or to set our TP, so we're just going to target a risk reward ratio of 1 to 4. 1 to 4. That's that for that. So we're expecting market to come back to this level, then we buy S&P 500. So I told you guys before that S&P 500, Nikkei Japan, and Nasdaq, they are like 80%, 82% correlation. So they are kind of, they'll move together, those kind of a thing. So let's go to Nasdaq. You can see Nasdaq also. I'm looking for a buy here. Market just broke out from this trend. Market broke out first of all. This, remember our strategy. Whenever we have a breakout from the channel line, the first structure before the breakout inside the channel line, the first structure before the breakout of the channel line, the structure that was created inside the channel line before the break happened outside of the channel line, market should come back to retest on it as a support or a resistance. Then sometimes, most times I don't even look for confirmation. I just set my buy limit or sell limit at that first structure. Set my SL below the last structure that price created before the breakout. So this was the last structure price created. This point, this was the last structure price created before we had this breakout here. And market came back with test on this, and move to the upside. So we are actually looking at the same thing here. This is the channel line number one, and we had the breakout number two, and number three we had the first structure of this old channel line, the first structure before the breakout. This is the first structure, like the lower high, lower low. This is the lower high. So we didn't have any, don't have any other lower high here. So before the breakout happened, what do you think market is going to do? Market is going to come to retest. Now my SL is supposed to be at the last structure before the breakout. This should be the last structure before the breakout. um this could have been the right level to put my SL. but it's going to be too much, it's going to be too big, so I have to use this. So let's see if price is going to come back here, maybe play around at this point, then we buy to the upside. That's that on Nasdaq. So let's look at Nikkei Japan. So this is Nikkei Japan. This is Nikkei Japan. This trade, guys, this trade is one of the most annoying trade I've ever taken. Like Nikkei Japan, this trade. Now, this is what happened. Market created a channel line here, a candle, a chart pattern, a channel line, whatever you want to call it. And we had this. This was our first structure before this breakout happened. This was the first structure. When market breaks out from here, I was expecting market to retest, come back to retest here. So I actually set my buy limit at this point. My SL was supposed to be here, but it was too big, it was too huge. So I had to set my SL. Was it around somewhere around this level? Yeah, somewhere around this level. And what the price did, price came, trigger me for a buy. And what happened? Market, boom, take me out. This trade was so annoying. Like I hit a lot of SL. Like I hit a lot of SL. And one of the reason why I think 3 SL. The reason why I hit more SL on this particular trade to the upside was one of the reason was because of my broker. My broker also messed things up for me. But at the end of the day, I mix this trade, but I believe there is a bigger structure. Market just break out from this, channel line, this bigger channel line. Now this is the first structure before the breakout. This was the first structure. So market will be coming back to retest on this structure. And normally my SL was supposed to be here, but because it's too huge, I have to divide it into two, and I put myself here. So let's see. We want to see market coming back to retest at this point, then we buy up here. So that's that on Nikkei Japan. Let's take a look at US card. Nothing much to do on US card. I've already made my projection. I want market to break below here, retest, then we sell down. We sell down on US card. So let's see. Market is gonna break this. Just have to be patient enough to wait for market to break out of this support, and we test on it, then we sell down on Nikkei Japan. Oh, sorry, on US card. Let's take a look at GBUSD. The last, okay. Let's see. GBUSD is approaching a very key resistance level, so we are expecting market to react to this point, break, retest, then we sell down to this point here. To this point, result sell down from here to this point. So that's all for this